Well, for the first time in nearly 20 years, the FDA has approved a new experimental drug to treat Alzheimer's disease. But it doesn't come without controversy. There are questions about the drug's effectiveness. Joining us now to talk about it is Dr. Chinyere Okpaleke, a family medicine hospitalist, and she joins us once again on Start Your Day. Good to see you again, Dr. Chi. Happy to have you back. Let's talk about this because nearly 6 million Americans live with Alzheimer's disease here in the States. It's been about 18 years since there's been any type of therapy, new therapy that's treated this terrible disease. So with this news coming out, even with the controversy, how huge is this?
This is a big deal. Like you mentioned, it's been since 2003 since a drug has actually been approved for treatment of Alzheimer's. There's a total of 5 drugs in that's been produced to treat Alzheimer's. So this is a big deal. This new drug, Aduhelm, it's made for to stop the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't know, but it's not necessarily a cure for Alzheimer's, but just to stop that progression. And it's not made for those with severe Alzheimer's, so those who have advanced dementia, severe memory loss. It's not intended for that pool of patients. Only for those who have the early stages, the mild cognitive impairment that it's used for.
You mentioned, Dr. Chi, that this is not a cure. Previously, the FDA Advisory Committee voted against the drug. I'm curious, what changed now?
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's the issue that people are questioning. Last year, the advisory committee of the FDA did not think this drug had enough proof that it was effective and enough for treatment. There was the first study that showed no benefit. The second one showed that there is some benefit to this medication, showed like a little bit of a 22% decrease of progression of the disease, but they still did not feel this would suffice to treat Alzheimer's. And this year, the FDA felt this is enough evidence for us. We feel that this is enough to prove that this drug works. It actually showed a convincing amount of decreased amyloid plaques within the brain that will stop the progression of the disease. Now, it has been shown that amyloid plaques is this abnormal protein that's found in Alzheimer's patients in the brain. So they correlate it. If you have reduced amyloid plaques, you're going to have reduced progression of the disease. And that's why they accelerated this approval for the drug.
Yeah, Dr. Chi, give us a lesson here when it comes to the FDA and its approval process, because even right now, the COVID-19 drugs haven't been fully approved. They're out there for emergency use right now. So what is the criteria, some of the things that they have to prove in order to get their full approval?
It has to go through phases. It has to go through a phase 1, it has to go through a phase 2 and a phase 3 to get final approval. And during this process, the FDA will look at these trials being done where they have a pool of patients being tested for the drug. And if it passes these phases, then it's able to go through the official process of approving this drug. This drug got to phase 3, but they went through a program where they evaluate all the risks and benefits. And like I mentioned, the FDA Advisory Committee did not feel that this was enough evidence to pass through. But they actually went through the application process with the FDA, and they wanted to speed this process up, and they wanted to get this drug approved because of that reduced effectiveness of the Alzheimer's progression.
Well, anything right now helps because this is a dreadful disease. I've seen firsthand the types of effect it can have on people. Once again, so even if it's not a cure, it's a start. But the price tag, from what I understand, is pretty magnificent, huge. Costs $56,000 a year. So, give me some advice. So, there's this controversy. It's out there. It can help me. If I have the money to do this and I have Alzheimer's, you're my doctor, what are you advising me to do?
So for out of pocket, like you mentioned, $56,000 a year, this drug is an IV infusion. So they give it once every 4 weeks. And so, yes, that can be very pricey, especially if you are uninsured, which affects a lot of our, population now. If you do show signs of early Alzheimer's, you're starting with the memory loss, being forgetful, and you go to your physician and this drug is out there, I will advise it to be taken, especially if you do have insurance. This is promising. This is a great way and great forward movement of medicine. And it's exciting. It's not saying we're curing anything, but it gives you hope that you have a little bit longer time to live. This disease, like you mentioned, is increasingly common in America, in the world. And with this drug being made, we can have a promising future for those who are affected by this disease that affects millions of us worldwide.
And Dr. Chi, I think a key word you said there was hope. You know, give so many families hope that they can help their loved one, because we know that it is so difficult to watch someone going through this disease. How soon do you expect to see this on the market?
So it's hard to say because they're still in the trials and they just got it approved. But we can probably see within the next few months that this could be out in the market with patients who are able to get a hold of it. Again, that price tag is scary. So it's going to take a little bit of time to actually get, people to be able to afford this medication and use it on a regular basis.
Hopefully we can help some of the average Joes out there who need it, who desire it.
Really
but
need
that
it.
price tag is certainly steep.